Hi, everyone. I'm Teresa Anderson, head of marketing for our English-speaking countries at AgoraPulse, and I am here for another exciting edition of T3. And if you are familiar with T3, it's part of our 15-5 series where we take a CMO, we bring them out, we say, hey, real quick, 15 minutes or less, tell us a trend you're following, a tech that you're loving, and a tactic that's working for you. So we get right to the meat of things to give you the information you need that you can apply in your own business. Today, we are very fortunate to have Jason with us. I'm going to bring Jason in now. And Jason, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks, Teresa. I'm excited to be here as well. Love the format.
Yes, good. Thank you. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your business, and then what they can expect, what your target audience is, so they can kind of understand where you're coming from today.
Absolutely. So my name's Jason. I lead marketing and partnerships at Crowdspring.com. 15-year-old business. We punch above our weight class. We've got a small team of around 15 people, and we're working with over 200,000 creatives on one side of the marketplace, over 150,000 clients on the other side. We work with Fortune 500 companies, small business owners, agencies who use us publicly and privately. So it's a wide variety of our audience. Our core product is branding and design services. So 33 categories of branding and design. We back this up with a money-back guarantee. Wow. And it's all completely custom work, designed in a way where it's iterative feedback once you see the design. And so what we find with a lot of marketers and business owners is they struggle to give feedback or to even give a creative brief to know what they're looking for without seeing it first. And so we show them the designs first. You get dozens of designs per project, and then the team can go back and argue and say which one they like best or not, and work towards that final design.
That actually sounds like a great tactic. So we're just going to give that as a bonus tactic. If you're looking for a way to streamline your design, check out Crowdspring. So let's jump right into our deck. We've got a lot to cover, and we're going to kick it right off with our first T in T3, which is trend. So many trends out there. Which one are you following? Which one do you have your eye on?
Yeah, I think the important one here is you can read is purpose-driven branding. I think what we forget when we're running companies, when we're running brands, and let's real quickly for everybody, let's get on the same page what a brand means. A brand, quite simply, is every single interaction that somebody has with your company. Every single interaction. That's the style of your email. That's your social media posts. That is the copy on your website. Every single interaction. Your brand identity is everything visual about your company. And so what we forget when we're running companies and running brands is the importance of alienating people who are not your customers, right? We try to speak to everybody. We try and say we're building a brand that solves the world problems and everybody can use it. These are very expensive and long brands to build. Think Walmart and Coca-Cola, right? They've been around forever. They're ubiquitous. They serve every customer, but it takes a lot of money to get to that point. Most of us, listening to this, and myself included, are not running these styles of companies. We need to target a very specific audience, and that means we alienate another one. I think a great example I love using is Black Rifle Coffee Company, because they're polarizing, right? They're not trying to be Folgers. They're not trying to be a ubiquitous coffee brand that everybody drinks. They're trying to say, no, we are pro-veteran, America first, and we support gun rights, right? That's going to alienate a large section of what could possibly be their audience, but they've recognized that it's not their audience. They've taken a stance, they have a purpose, and they're putting this into their brand. This is the same. AgoraPulse has the same style. Teresa, you've told me before that this is not the tool that you want digital marketers cutting their teeth on. Go to Buffer, go to Hootsuite, learn about how to run social media there. Come to AgoraPulse when you're ready for the big league, when you want the tools and the support to be able to help you. And that's going to alienate some of your customers. You're not providing the support and hand-holding that maybe a first-time early-stage social media user will need, but that allows you to be able to focus your purpose and your mission on your core audience. And so this is where I see a big trend, and where I see we can really grow our businesses is by focusing on what our purpose is.
You are singing my song. I love this one. I think that what I've been calling this, Jason, and we'll get on to the next slides, but I've been calling this a numbers detox. I think that we get addicted with the idea of having that 1 million everyone. Everyone is 1 million people, and much, much better to have the 100,000 that are really a match for us to really detox from that idea of 1 million and accept the idea of 100,000 being a really good fit. And I think for a long time we've been to prove our worth. Marketing's been really focused on being able to produce those flashy big numbers.
Yes. If you're not venture backed, if you need to focus on profitability, you're not going to get those big flashy numbers.
And you don't want them. You want, just speaking to your example, you want the people that are your purpose fit, that occupy your little space on the long tail, right?
Exactly.
Okay, let's jump in and let's talk tech. Tech is a big one for our audience. There's so many things out there. I have literally, and I consider myself a CRM aficionado, I have never heard of Streak.
All right, good.
Streak. Yes.
All right. Well, let me tell you about what I do so that you understand like what I need to Streak for. So I lead marketing and partnerships. That latter, partnerships, occupies a lot of my time. I work with a lot of folks that are on this conversation, the digital marketers, the CMOs, the owners of companies, where I'm helping them through partnerships. And we use the term partnership by saying, how do we both grow? What are the core problems of our companies? What are we trying to do in the next couple months? What are the audience we're trying to talk to? And how do we work together to solve that through a variety of different ways? And so I need to be able to keep track of these interactions. And Streak is the simplest CRM. I've used so many CRMs, all of the big names. You just don't use them. There's too many features and they're too heavy. This lives right in Google, right in Gmail. And so it fits easily within my process of being able to go through my inbox and see where everything is at. But it also allows me, getting back to, kind of what I do, understanding the companies that I'm trying to partner with, I can walk through that whole chain and follow up appropriately at the right time, because I'm starting these conversations not with a pitch. There's nothing to sell because I don't know the other person's audience as well as they do. And so the very first step in a partnership for me is to understand who's your audience, what's your problem, where do you want to go in the next couple of months? And then we start thinking about how to work together. I've done the heavy lifting of identifying that we probably speak to the same audience by what I can see publicly. But that first conversation is typically 15 minutes, so we don't waste anybody's time. We understand each other. But that's the first step in Streak, right? That's kind of that early stage contacted is what I call it. And then I can move them to other stages within my Gmail dashboard. So for me, it works really well to be able to move conversations without losing them, because I think this is where we lose a lot of value, is we stop the conversation. We forget about the conversation. We don't follow up appropriately. We don't propose new ideas. And so quick pitch, if you're a marketer out there and you want to get into my Streak, reach out to me, jason@crowdspring.com, and I'll show you how it works from the behind the scenes.
Wow, I think that's a huge offer. Everybody should be writing that down. It sounds like it's very much opportunity management based. Is that where they stand out, Streak?
Well, I think you can use it in any way you want. If you could use it probably on the customer service side, or you could use it on I use it for new deals in terms of partnerships. I don't approach these as sales relationships, but you could use them obviously for sales. My partnerships are more strategic. They're about what is the problem that your company has, and if we're targeting the same audience, how do we leverage the success we've had over 15 years in different marketing channels like lead gen and email marketing and SEO and customer support? How do we use these to help your business grow as well? And most importantly, the customer. So for me, it's more opportunity based.
And just to give again because this is a new one to me, I am going to go check it out after this.
But I think it's free. It lives right within Google. And I think
question, like, what kind of price point are we talking here? Like, as it compares to kind of the big. I see the big players in this CRM space as Salesforce and HubSpot, which are not inexpensive. I think they have less expensive versions, but you think
I pay for it because I want some of the extra tools, and I've been using it for years, and it's like $30 a month. You can easily add more people on your team so that you can see the activity that's happening on their side as well.
Wow, that is actually amazing. I'm literally writing this down so I can go check it out after this is done. So, okay, let's move on now to probably maybe not the one that's the most fun, but the one that's the most practical, which is the tactic that's working for you. And I feel like you've gone old school on us here, Jason. Tell us about nurturing email sequences and how you're using that as a tactic right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's not dead in the least, but how we use it should be dead, right? And so what's happening is we get all of these emails from other companies. We hit delete, we hit unsubscribe, we hit spam. We get all of these emails, but for some reason, when we're in the hot seat, when we're running the marketing campaigns, now we think it's okay. Now we think people actually care about features that we just launched. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about features. They care about, how can you help them with their core problem, right? How can you help them in the social media management space? It's how do I have a consistent brand image so I look maybe bigger than I am? How do I get more brand awareness? How do I convert? How do I get more leads so I can convert these to customers? These are the problems they care about. They don't care about the feature, right? And so changing up our email strategies where we're educating, where we're solving those core problems, really builds trust with the audience. And so now they feel like you're more of a trusted advisor. They stick with you for the long term. They ask you questions. I think one of the challenges that people have is a lot of times the education isn't unique to our business, and it shouldn't be. We should be able to educate somebody on solving the problem that they can then go and use a competitor for or do it themselves, right? But this is that trust building relationship where we want to show them how they could do this on their own or through another source, but they come back to us because they say, look, these people know what they're talking about. They're helping me truly grow my business. That's what they care about. They want to grow their business, decrease the time of running their business. They want to look good in front of their boss or their superior. So that's what we're trying to educate on. And so just pushing features and benefits isn't very helpful.
No, and I'm going to take this personally, that you don't think that all of the wrestling I do about choosing the right word for something doesn't matter in an email. I'm going to take that personally, that's all time wasted, because I spend a lot of time picking the exact right vocabulary word. 100% get what you're saying.
And this is where ChatGPT can be of a big help. But I think what we're seeing is some people trying to use it as a cheat, right?
Oh,
and so picking that right word can be incredibly helpful when you're trying to find the right subject line or pulling a paragraph out of an email and reworking that single area. I think what we're finding is the people who are succeeding, the marketers and business owners who are succeeding with ChatGPT, aren't using it in replace of their own knowledge. They're not saying, do this for me. They're spending the heavy work of using their knowledge and crafting something specific, then giving it to GPT and reworking parts of it, so it makes something 10 times better. It's the same amount of time. It's just the result is 10 times better when you use these types of tools.
Right. And that's going to be your bonus tech for the session that you're going to talk about how you're using AI, specifically ChatGPT. And I'm almost going to throw out as a tip to everybody too, is on this bonus of AI. The reverse is also true. I think that ChatGPT can be a great way to give you a first draft. Even if you end up with none of it, it got you started.
Yes.
And got you thinking instead of having a blank page in your face and not knowing how to start.
Just don't think you can copy that wholesale and insert it and upload it,
right. Which absolutely, that is not a best practice. Right. But it can help you in both ends of the spectrum. It can also help you with research too. So there's our bonus tech is don't be afraid of AI and ChatGPT and generative AI. And you can really use it in your any kind of email. But in your your tactic that you're talking about, which is those nurturing emails and I'm going to recap what we've kind of talked about so far. Sure. But I want to say that, purpose-driven branding, you're speaking my language there. You have to have meaning. You have to connect with people beyond features and benefits, which kind of talks to your nurturing too. You really have to
and learn how to alienate people. Be comfortable with alienating people who aren't your audience. Yeah.
Right. A great tip everybody should keep in mind. Know who your audience is, accept who your audience is, accept that a smaller number you can actually reach is better than the biggest number that'll never connect with you. I think that's a great trend to keep your eye on. This CRM tool that you're using called Streak is the tech suggestion. I'm going to check that one out myself. It's a low cost price point, but it has the ability to scale up as you're using it. And there might actually be a free version, we think. And then Tactic, nurture email sequences. And as a bonus, ChatGPT. I will say, with the nurture email sequences, I want to draw everybody's attention to the idea that Tactic here is really that you're not going to rush them to sale with a feature or a benefit right in the beginning. The idea is to build trust. So when we're talking about nurture email sequences here, Jason's really talking about building trust during those nurturing sequences.
Truly educational.
Yes. And I heard trust a lot in what you were saying. You want them
That's
to
what branding is.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, you're telling me it's not my logo? I don't understand. It is. Okay. Well, we are all very close to the end of our time together. That sailed by as it normally does. To everybody in the audience, you can see the recap here. We will also tag these and provide links in the chat. Please follow Jason on LinkedIn, and he's already offered to help you look inside of his streaks. I'd take him up on top of that too. Like, we're going to take you up on that, Jason. Have you share your streak with everybody who's interested?
Absolutely, and more importantly, I'll say if you're talking to small business owners, you're talking to agencies, and you want to discuss a partnership, we don't have to know what that looks like right now. We've got the 15 years of marketing experience and a massive audience, and so we'll start with understanding who your audience is and what you're trying to do over the next couple of months, and see if there's an opportunity to work together.
Love it. I'm also inviting everybody to follow me on LinkedIn. And we also have a demo of Agorapulse. I always like to throw that out there to people who are following us on that idea of, educating. So anybody who's interested in what a social media management platform can do for you. Appreciate your time today, Jason. Thank you. Thank you. And everybody here in the audience, hit up Jason, connect with him and what he's doing in his business that can help your business. So talk later. Thanks, guys. Thanks. All right, bye.